How can you support your father? How do you support him moving forward?
The courtroom was packed reporters, cameras, and a crowd hanging on every moment. All eyes were locked on the drama unfolding in Diddy's high-stakes trial. Then, a twist. The judge gave a subtle signal. A new piece of evidence was about to be revealed. An audio recording. As the judge announced whose voice was on the tape, the atmosphere shifted. Silence fell over the room. It was Diddy's own son, Christian Combs.
Major developments tonight involving the case against Sean Diddy Combs, what he decided in court today, and what this now means, the move coming just 4 days before his trial is set to begin. Here's Aaron Katursky.
Diddy's face turned pale. As the audio began to play, the courtroom held its breath, and what came next stunned everyone. Christian's voice rang out clearly, revealing intimate details about what went on inside Diddy's homes and at his exclusive parties. He spoke of VIP guests, secretive private jet trips, and hush money allegedly paid to keep everything quiet. But the most damning part? His words strongly hinted that Diddy was the mastermind behind it all. At first, Diddy sat still, stone-faced. He took slow sips of water, eyes fixed on the table, trying to maintain his composure. But as the recording continued, the cracks began to show. His hands trembled, and fury burned in his eyes.
And when the judge did, Diddy, who was sitting at the defense table with his attorneys, did not show any signs of emotion. He took a sip of water before he was led out of the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals. Now, his lawyers have vowed to fight this. They are going to be back in court on Wednesday before the judge who will oversee this trial and try to get Diddy to be released.
Then Diddy snapped. He suddenly shot up from his seat, shouting at the top of his lungs. "This is a setup," he yelled, jabbing his finger toward the speakers blaring the audio. "He's my son! This is all lies!" His voice echoed through the courtroom as his lawyers scrambled to calm him down. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Reporters pounded at their keyboards. The judge banged the gavel, trying to restore order, but Diddy refused to back down. He kept shouting, claiming he was being betrayed. And framed chaos erupted. And in a shocking turn, U.S. Marshals had to step in and physically escort him out of the courtroom. The once composed music mogul had lost control, and within minutes, the moment was already being called Diddy's breakdown. But what exactly was on that audio that rattled him so deeply? Sources say Christian revealed chilling details, things only someone extremely close to Diddy could possibly know. He spoke of secret meetings, private flights arranged for unnamed guests, and massive cash payments made under the radar. It was the kind of insider knowledge that could change everything.
Well, Bill and Sade, accepting a plea agreement would mean that Sean Combs would have to admit to trafficking and force. And today he made it very clear that was not going to happen. Diddy maintained all along these encounters involved consenting adults and plans to take his chances that a jury agreed.
This wasn't just a son speaking, it sounded like someone who knew the inner workings of everything, someone who had seen it all from behind the curtain. And now he was exposing it. Some believe Christian handed over the recording to save himself from legal trouble. Others say he just couldn't keep the lies going any longer. Whatever the reason, the fallout was immediate and brutal. Diddy's team scrambled to control the narrative. They chalked up his courtroom outburst to shock, pain, and deep betrayal. One of his attorneys told reporters, "This isn't just a legal battle he's facing, the heartbreak of his own son turning on him.
Mr. Combs feels A, he's innocent, which is why he's not going to plead guilty. B, he's going to be truthful about this case because he wants to portray that to the people who have loved him his whole life. And I think he also feels an obligation to people in general. Maybe it's black people, maybe it's white people, maybe it's anybody who's ever felt aggrieved and targeted by the government. He feels an obligation to those people to say, you know what, maybe I can break the model. Maybe I can show the world that a black man can win, in federal court. And I think he probably is the only person I know of who might be able to actually accomplish.
Social media went into meltdown. In New York, hashtags like Diddy Breakdown and Christian Speaks began trending within minutes. Fans were sharply divided. Some praised Christian for having the courage to speak the truth, while others slammed him. As a traitor for turning on his own father through it all, Christian stayed silent. But behind the scenes, sources say this is only the beginning. More audio, more evidence, and possibly more family members stepping into the spotlight. This trial has moved far beyond questions of fame or fortune. It's now the story of a father and son ripped apart on a very public stage. Once Diddy had it all: fame, power, and the respect of an entire industry. But now, those who once stood beside him seem to be the very ones pulling him down. And after the chaos in court, one thing is clear: Diddy is unraveling.
Hearing before Sean Combs' trial starts, when he walked into federal court today, he appeared to be looking for his family. They've pretty much been at all of the hearings that I've been to, but there was no presence of his sons or his mother or his sister who had previously been at those hearings.
Some say Diddy's courtroom meltdown may have done even more damage to his case. Judges don't take kindly to defendants losing control. It sends the wrong message. Now, as the trial moves forward, all eyes are on Christian. Will he take the stand? Next? Will he reveal even more about what went on behind closed doors? And perhaps the biggest question, can Diddy regain his composure before it's too late? One thing is certain. When Diddy heard that recording, he wasn't just listening to his son's voice, he was hearing the collapse of his empire. And in that raw, unfiltered moment in front of the world, he completely unraveled. This trial is far from over. But now the public has seen a side of Diddy they'll never forget. A father betrayed, a son speaking out, and a courtroom eruption that stunned everyone.